This broadcast is brought to you by the Mayo Clinic, the #1 medical clinic in the world. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Habtoor Polo Resort and Club for our first match in the 16th edition of the Silver Cup 2026 between Bangladesh and Dubai Wolves. And so, ladies and gentlemen, firstly, I'd like to, for our Polo Live viewers, just whip over to Sebastian, who's just going to have a few words with the manager of the Wolves team, Nico Petracci.
No other than we are opening the season here. No other than Nico Petracci. He's the manager of Dubai Wolves. He's the one behind all the taking care of the horses and the players and all that. Let me know. They have a really good season last year. Let me know how they are thinking on encouraging this new season.
Well, yes, like you say, we had a good season last year. We won the Silver Cup. That was really good, and we had to make a change of players, unfortunately, because the handicap changed. And we brought a little bit more horses this season, one more per player. That's a good advantage we have. And of course, we brought Cachete Crespo instead of Benja Panelo. And we balance the team. We have a 7-6-6 in handicaps, so that's for me was very important to keep a certain balance. But we have big expectations like everybody. Like I say, this are all 20-goal teams, so we are all level. Then the field is what we will see what happens.
It's difficult, like you say. We see what happened. The first match is always a big question mark. You don't know the other team. You know them obviously, but you don't know how they will work. And they are in the same situation. They are in the first match, with a couple of practices before starting the season. It's a season that will be very compact, very one tournament after the other. It will be more tough for the horses this way.
It will be. This is when we have the Ramadan going on, so this is why they have to compact the season a little bit. Yes, we played Bangladesh for the last 2 years. We were lucky. We are beaten against them, but they came reloaded now with Alfred Capella. So we know that it's a really tough team. but I think we have a good team also. So let's see now.
Confidence in your team. That's good. That's a good spirit.
yeah, exactly. Big confidence and big confidence. I haven't been seen playing in the checkers, in the trainings, and we were doing really well. The horses came early in December, so no, we did the things I believe right. So to be at least in the final in Silver Gold Cup, let's see, and win maybe one. Whoever knows.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Nico. And we'll get you the lead back to you, Adam, to present the teams, lineups, and umpires, and crack on with this kickoff match of the Silver Cup.
So thank you very much indeed, Sebastian. And now we'll go forward for the teams on our Polo Line viewers. We first of all have Wolves, Dubai Wolves versus Bangash. And this will be... You got Chirangiri Bindrai. So just a slight hiccup there from the last game yesterday in the UAE Federation Cup. And we've got a few of the players out there already on the field looking to get this first match of this coveted Silver Cup underway here, ladies and gentlemen. Silver Cup always very exciting. Teams jostling, working themselves out, working horses out, getting horses fit or in peak condition for the Gold Cup, which follows straight after this on the 28th of January, with the finals, of course, being on the 14th of February. St. Valentine's Day. So, ladies and gentlemen, get your tickets booked for the Silver Cup final and also for the Gold Cup. So we're certainly looking forward to some very exciting matches out here in the Silver and Gold Cup. This is the High Gold Polo in the GCC region here at Habtoor Polo Resort and Club. And our first match, Wolves in the red shirts, red maroon shirts, with Bangash being in their blue shirts. And we'll just quickly go through the lineups here now. So playing for Dubai Wolves, at number 1 will be Habtoor Habtoor. At number 2 will be Cesar Cachete Respo. At 3 will be Felix Esain, playing at number 3. And at the back door, it is Santiago Laborde. And for Bangash, playing at number 1 will be Haida Bangash. At 2, Federico Podolski. At 3, Tomasito Llorente. And at 4, it is Alfredo Capella. Some very familiar names out here playing in this high gold tournament. A number of players being brought in specifically for this tournament. The Wolves, Cachete, Felix, and also Sandy Laborde from last season coming back again, effectively to play this tournament again. But this time for the Wolves, for Cachete. And Bangash, of course, in blue. We have Fedibon Potowski, who's based out here for 10 years now with Haida Bangash. A great partnership between these two. It's almost like a marriage between these two. Sometimes it's love, sometimes it's hate, or maybe not so much love. But then for Tomasito, back again this year, and having missed last year, it's great to see Alfredo Capella back here again in the UAE. Almost grown up here as Alfie. Being there, of course, with his uncle, Hugo Barabucci, who's based down with Abu Dhabi and Gantut for many, many years. And you see the little grey pony that Felix has just come out on for the Wolves team. This is little Marilyn from a little mare that won a Champion Pony prize last year, bred by Facundo Sola, are now being played all over the world by Felix. A lot of these horses are brought in specifically for this tournament. You'll find Santi Labordi's brought his back in, and it's great to see the mare he's starting on again, Mulita. An absolute cracking mare. A mare that she wouldn't want to leave in the stable too long because somebody else might want to go now. She's absolutely amazing. And so for our umpires out on the field, we'll be playing over 5 chuckers. We'll have Chris Hyde, the prof, and Matthias Baveni, with the third man being Santiago Torgueta. Peter Wright will be joining us next week. He has current engagements in South Africa. He'll be joining us midweek for our next matches. I'd just like to remind everybody to stay back behind the white line whilst the game's on. It is for your safety, of course. This ball will certainly be moving at great pace, and also the players will undoubtedly be coming out over the boards. And so to start off in this first chukker, Heidebank Gas starting off on Coquetero. Fede on Chiva. They'll be splitting these chukkers. So Fede will start on Chiva and then on to Tradicion. Tommy on Baron. Tomasito then Sonri. Alfie starting on Rabicana. And then getting on to Rockstar. And for Habtoor will be starting off on Ruben. Then on to Buchaka. Cachete will be starting off on Dipotasa, I think it is. And then on to Kimka. Felix on Marilyn, then Yemen. Santi on Melita. And then on to Ponzero, but it does, Bonpancho, then it does sort of change about a bit during the chukkers. First of all, as we are starting off with split chukkers for their first match. And they'll be given time to change for a free change at about halfway through. And so the team's just putting the final touches on their warm-ups, getting themselves and horses focused, because now it is time to take the gloves off. It's match time. It's high goal polo time here for the Silver Cup, the 16th edition. So 2 teams lining up on the far side of the field for the first 2 chukkers, and then on this side, but the polo line side, that is. And the ball's into play, and we're already off. And the first one to get the touch onto is Alfredo Capella. Capella comes forward. Getting in there is Felix. They ride each other off and leaves that ball behind for Tomasito. But Alfie comes up with the spoils in the end. He just gets blocked in his play. The player reckons he's got space to get to it, but umpire's deciding no. He had actually blocked him a little bit. It's all going to be a little bit sort of tense maybe at the beginning of this first chukker, or maybe for the whole of the first chukker as the players work themselves out. We can see on the drone shot here, he comes away forward, and as he tries to come forward, the ball, they just collected him on the way. And this ball's just been dropped down here now for short penalty, a penalty 3, a 40-yard penalty here in favour of Bangash. Being teed up by Fede with Alfie. Alfredo Capella, a massive hitter of the ball. This Bangash team always got a lot of guts. They've got hunting for glory all the time. And we're looking forward to this game opening up shortly. This is played off handicap, but both these teams are even, so we're 0-0 to start chukker number 1. Capella comes up to it, strikes it hard, straight through the goals it is, opening up the account for Bangash. So the first goal of the Silver Cup goes to Alfredo Capella and Bangash. So the 2 teams now, you can see on the replay here from the drone, Alfredo Capella comes up to it really nicely. And even if you are on field side, it's always worth logging in to Polo Line TV to have a look through the app, or also on Facebook as the 2 teams line up. Umpires just looking for a vague resemblance of a gap, so there's no argy-bargy in the middle there, and try and get this ball in and out of the back of the line out to open the game up nice and cleanly. So, ball into play. Just a bit of Margie going in onto it, so it gets stuck in the melee, which is unfortunate. And it is going to be Fede. Comes away with the play, but he's just taken off out of that one there. But Fede trying to get back onto it. It's flicked around the corner here now. Fede comes back onto the play with Felix, picking up the play once more. Felix on Marilyn, comes forward here now. Ohms shoulder up, fishes that ball up forward, looking for Capella. Capella gets onto it here now. Capella turns it away. Under the neck he goes. In fact, no, he was looking for Cachete, was but it's now picked up here by Capella. being hassled hard. Cachete in there working hard as ever, just told to yield. Just a little bit too much infringement going on there, and he sends that ball up forward, but it only falls as far as Felix. He sends a nice little backhand. Oh, beautifully picked up here by Alfie. Alfredo Capella read that one well and released the crack, and he's off up the field here now. It's Alfredo Capella just ambling up the field. They're trying to get to him. He has time to check up, straightens himself. Oh, and he just gets deceived on it. Great support there by Hyder, and Hyder comes in onto this ball here now, picks up the play, but it just gets deflected off the line, and then coming onto it to finish that one off in a rather interesting manner was Tomasito, but he's not going to complain. That's a goal is a goal. So Tomasito Fernandez Llorente puts number 2 on the board there for Bangash. Takes the post with him. He came round it. We can just see on the replay here it was beautifully saved, but Tomasito comes back in. He has to reach back to pick it up, and in doing so cleaned up the goalpost as well. But hey, a goal's a goal, so we'll take that one. Thank you very much indeed. So back to the middle of the field as it just umpire blows his whistle. Now they've got back to the middle, and they'll just spend a little bit of time just to re-erect that goalpost. And as you see the guys up at the top end, they're just putting another piece of doweling into the centre of the goalpost, made of polystyrene here now, unlike there was a field that was excavated in Old Persia. This is exactly the same size we have out here today, 300 yards long, 165 wide, and the goal mouths being 8 yards apart. But that field that was excavated going back to 600 BC, they had stone pillars. So I don't think Tomasito would have been too happy to have hit that one, should we say. But this for safety of horse and player. The rules are set up, of course, for the safety of horse, then player, in that order. And so they'll just pop another piece of doweling up the middle of it and then place it back into the pipe in the ground. It's designed to snap off. So jildy. So it looks like they're just going to have to sort out what might have happened is a piece of doweling that snapped off, might have snapped off in the actual piece of pipe that's in the ground. So they're going to have to try and retrieve that and then get another piece put in. And so it just gives me an opportunity, of course, here. Without their help, these tournaments would not be possible. Our sponsors are Bentley Emirates, that is. They've been the official dealer and the sole authorised importer of Bentley motors in the UAE since 1983, operating as part of the Al Habtoor Motors Prestige Division. It's held the title for the number 1 dealer in the world in 7 consecutive years, from 2011 to 17, and regained the title again back in 2019. In 2022, Bentley Emirates won Retailer of the Year, Sales Retailer of the Year at the Middle East and Africa Bentley Regional Dealer Conference. So, goalpost is back up again. We'll come back to our sponsors in a minute, which we cannot thank enough. And the ball's into play. Skews off out the side here. Trying to get onto that one was Patowski. The backhand comes in. It gets lost and caught. And once again, Cachete sends that one up forward here now, looking for Felix. But coming onto it there, comes across onto it. Felix thought he had the line, but the umpires must have deemed that Alfredo Capella was fine on that one there. And who'll be one to argue with them? And it's Alfie. Just settles on the play here now. Alfredo just playing with that ball, comes forward with it. Oh, and he's going to have to go back for that one there, but he keeps control of it. Does well. Pony hops out over the boards with 1 foot and brings it back in nicely. Opens that shoulder up, looks to get hold of it. He was looking for a little bit of something out of there because he thought that Laborde was just infringing a bit. And you can just see here now, it is going to be Tomasito. Takes the man, line, then ball. Plays a lovely backhand underneath the tail to clear it away from the danger zone. Looking to try and come across there as Patowski. The advantage being played on it here now. And back onto it once again here. Trying to get back onto it was going to be Alfie, but it's picked up here by Felix once again. Felix left it behind this time, but now picked up by Cachete. Cachete gets that ball stolen away from him, though, by Tomasito. Quick as a flash, Tomasito Fernandez Llorente reaches back, pulls the ball forward. He's turning around on here now, takes it away once more. Players are going to have to yield off out of the way because they're in his passage of play, and it's now sent forward here once again by Tomasito. He's going to run this one himself. He's got Laborde gone forward. Patowski's going with him, and over the top. Look at the quick reactions of Felix, but couldn't quite pick that one up. But checking nicely on it is Cachete. Cachete Crespo checks, turns, looks up forward to see where his players are. He's got Habtoor up there. He's got Felix. He takes the option of Felix, so you will have, looks like poor little Marilyn's getting a little tired there, as you have getting to the ball first. It is going to be Alfredo Capella. Forehand, backhand, plays the backhand. They're all appealing on that one there, thinking that Felix had come underneath the arm and the swing of Alfredo. But you'll probably be able to see on a replay if we get it that Alfredo was he right, was he wrong? Let's see. But in the meantime, we'll just have a quick change of ponies here now. And Alfredo was going for his backhand, Felix was going forward. They both thought that they had that line. So we'll just pause and wait for a moment here now, whilst the umpires quickly discuss it. But it looks like they've already made a decision. The ball has been dropped down. But they might pick it up and move it to a penalty, but at the moment it's looking like it's a penalty in favour of Bangash from the spot. There's a good screenshot there of Cuchete Crespo with Santi Laborde coming forward here now. Santi Laborde always consistent, always strong in his polo. And a great teammate and a great guy to have out there on the field. So they're just giving you a quick hooter up now because they've got 90 seconds to a minute to 90 seconds to actually change. But Bangash, they're based down at the other end of the field. The scoreboard end is where their pony lines are. So they're going to take a little bit longer to get back. But coming back out onto the field here now. And there's Hyder out on a new little mare, Princesita. Tradition for Fede. Sonnery for Tommy. Alfie on Rockstar. And we have Habtoor on Wichaka. Kimka for Cuchete. Yema for Felix. And Poncho it is for Santi Laborde. So, yes, it looks like we're going to have a penalty 5. A spot penalty, as the team was not going forward. There was a backhand being played there by Alfredo Capella. And we've got 8 players on the field. Or are we? Or are we missing one? I see. 1, 2, 3. No, we're still missing one in the form of Fede von Potowski. Fede's got lost in the pony line somewhere. Maybe he's decided he wants to change his order and the communication didn't get through to Akhtar. So here we go. Pony feeling a little well and a bit fresh, a little bit humpy. It's all very well. People turn around when they have their polo ponies, they come over. Or even at the beginning of the season, they first go out and exercise, they can be a bit fresh and like, whoa, we're back into getting fit again. And then the first time you single them, they can have a little bit of a pop as well. Then the first time you stick and ball them, they hear the ball being hit and it's like, hello. And then the balls get thrown into play in a game or chuckers or a match, and it's a totally different ball game all over again. And here it's a slightly fresh day for the UAE at this time of year. New environment for this new pony here, which Fede's come out on, and it's going to be Alfredo Capella to bring it in for Bangash. Alfie taps it up forward here now. Brings this one out wide here. Going with him is Cuchete. Go big task on him on his hands there. Has Cuchete. Cuchete gets the better of the man. Takes the man wider. Goes with the near side backhand. Gets the near side backhand in. It falls nicely for Laborde. Laborde picks it up. He's got Felix in behind. Looking to work his way forward. Felix couldn't quite pick that one up. But the long reach there of Capella. Picks it up on the near side and goes forward and out towards the Villa side. He avoids the hook and sends that ball out into space. Opening the game up here now nicely. Going back with him. Stride for stride though is Cuchete. Cuchete left it behind. Ridden off out of it. The backhand comes in by Felix, only picked up by Potowski. Potowski in there with Laborde. And Potowski on the play comes forward once again. Then sends that ball up forward. Nice use of the ball. Sends it forward, but no blue shirts up to receive that one. And once again, it is Cuchete Crespo. Crespo on the play. Crespo got a little bit of space and time, not being pushed to release it. And this time he does release it and puts it wide out here now for Laborde. Laborde being shadowed there by Potowski. His new nemesis here for this match, I would say. And it is Laborde. Puts that one nicely, diamond shape, in towards the middle of the field here now. And it will be Felix Hussein to come onto it. Felix goes, turns, front time play, pings that one up the field here now for Habtoor. Habtoor and Hyder comes together. Hyder doesn't bother with the hook, goes with a good backhand, connects with it well. Couldn't get onto it there. Good. Laborde, but it's picked up well there by Alfie. Gets the second shot at it. Oh, and he reaches a long way back for that. The beauty of youth takes it forward. Goes for the backhand. No, couldn't quite pick it up. Left it here for Potowski, but in turn it's now left here for Laborde and Dubai Wolves. The Laborde and Dubai Wolves trying to yield off and go forward with the play, but it's just been blocked there by Tomasito, and we end up getting a whistle on that play. Now, was the man parked in the way, or did he have the right to be there? But it looks like the umpire said, well, there's no real momentum going forward. So we'll just have a spot penalty. And it is in favour of blue. So Bangash. So effectively what must have happened was the Wolves were told to use it by the umpire, didn't. And therefore the penalty from the spot. The free hit's gone in favour here now of Bangash, with Alfredo Capella giving that ball a ride up the front door, but Tomasito's not there to receive it. But the man, knowing the strength of Capella, is Laborde. Gets back deep down nicely onto it, turns back inside of Tomasito, comes forward once again here, does Laborde. And he has Felix there with him. He goes forward. Felix is going with him. Sends it forward once again. Couldn't quite take it any further. Reaches out for that one there. Does Tomasito. Looks over his shoulder. See where his teammates are and comes back in. But back in to put the pressure on there was Laborde. But Tomasito comes up with the spoils away there from Felix. And he's looking up towards the goal here now to see where it is. Gets checked in his play. Just comes backwards for the ball once again. Cachete's trying to get hold of it. He gets helped and pushed around the corner a little bit. The backhand comes in by Habtoor. Picked up on the near side by Haider. But we get another whistle on that play. Maybe a player was just helped round the corner a little bit there. As you see, Feddy was going forward. Let's see if we can see on our replay here from Polo Line. You can see he's coming forward on it. It might be a little bit just earlier than that, but let's see what they decide. And so, ladies and gentlemen, all those who are tuned in to Polo Line or on Facebook, drop us a message. We'd love to give you a shout-out. And, of course, if you haven't already done so, download the app. pololine.tv, and of course on Instagram, Polo Line OK, on Facebook, Polo Line Int, and on YouTube it is Polo Line TV. So the ball's been dropped down here now. It looks like a penalty to a 30-yard undefended penalty for Tomasito to come up to. Canters up to it, drops the mallet down and says, thank you very much indeed. That's 3 goals on the board there for Bangash here in chukker number 1. So started very strongly indeed here, had Bangash in this first chukker. There might not be enough time to get this ball thrown in, but let us see. So the ball gets bowled into play just before the hooter. 30 seconds to go. Backhand by Haider. There goes the first hooter. Capella once again leans into that ball and looking there for Potowski, but first back onto it, closing the back door, or looking to do so, is Laborde. He takes the man and leaves it for Felix. Felix checks, turns, comes back into some space once again, and we get a whistle. There's just a little bit of something going on off the line, off the play. So unfortunately, I was concentrating on the ball. It looks like Tomasito's been collected. And so we'll just have a slight moment here. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that there will end chukker number 1. With the score being 3 goals, it is to Bangash. Dubai Wolves still looking to open up their account. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will go to a few messages from Polo Line. So, welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, to our Polo Line viewers, to Habtoor Polo Resort and Club on a lovely afternoon here in Dubai. Nice and overcast and not too warm. It's sort of mid-20s, just perfect for the horses and polo. And so the umpires have had to unpick what happened at the end of that with the third man. And a decision will be made here now. It looks like a ball has been dropped down. And there'll be a free hit in favour of the Wolves as Laborde brings it forward. Santiago. Santi comes forward with this one here now. Goes under the neck with that. Plays that one up for his man, but it got picked up here and picked off out of it. Trying to get onto that one. There's Cacchetti Crespo. Crespo up on the play once again, but we get a little bit of discombobulation as they all come in onto the play. And the umpires decide there's something wrong in that one there. There's too many people thinking they had the line and crossing across to get onto their stick side. And let's see if the drone can just unpick this one here now. You see Cacchetti came across in front. Was he right? And then we probably had something else going on behind. Maybe the umpires were looking to play a bit of advantage. But the result is they've all been dropped down for a penalty in favour of Alfredo Capella and Bangash. Capella. Nice weighted pass out there for Capella. Up for Tomasito. Tomasito settles down on the play here now. Tomasito Fernandez Llorente. Tomasito comes back inside the player. Showed too much of that onto Laborde, though, who sends a nice little backhand. First round onto it here will be Cacchetti Crespo. Crespo lets Habtoor go forward. Oh, and he's just left that one behind and tries to go back for it again. And quick as a flash, we have Tomasito Fernandez Llorente coming up the line here now. And Alfie's just having to have a word with his teammates here to keep it zipped, Timothy. Otherwise, somebody will be going to sit down for a cup of tea on the side of the field. And so in this chucker, Hyder coming out on Panadera with Fede on Japonista, Tommy on Picasso, Alfie on Patito, and Habtoor to come out here on Santida. Petty for Cacchetti. And, Alfredo Capella bringing this ball in here now. Alfie opens that shoulder up, leans into that, just gives that ball a ride up the field, and Fetty sort of half cuts it out the play, but he's just taken off out of that one there, and the ball stays in play nicely up to the post. They come, the backhand comes in there by Felix, taken away from the danger zone, first onto its Hyder, reciprocates, sends it back in once more. They're all claiming the line, but the whistle blows. Oh, and it looks like the goal judge has just put his flag wide, saying the ball had gone out of play. That poor goalpost is getting a bit of a hammering here this afternoon. Maybe we should go back to a stone one. They'll stay away from it, and that's for sure. There we go. Back in board this time. Well done. Team up there. And so the flagman put his flag wide, so there it is. The ball's just dropped down. That's why the goalpost there. Oh. But it looks like it's come off a defender. So we have a corner. A penalty 6 in favour of Bangash. So Alfredo Capella just trying to tee this ball up on the 60-yard line where the ball went out of play. So Alfredo Capella balances the pony beautifully. Hits that ball well, and it's goalward bound and straight through the guts it is there for Alfredo Capella. Making it 4 goals it is now for Bangash. And Wolves still looking to open up their account can see that on the drone. So two teams back over the far side of the field, looking to line this ball up here now. Ball bowled into play, out the back of the line, out it comes. First up onto this one here is Cucchetti, gets hooked off out of it, ball left behind, trying to go back for that one there is Laborde, but swooping in onto it is Alfredo. We get a strong blow on the whistle. Laborde, I reckon, he got himself established on that line, and the umpires certainly agree with him, as you can see on the replay. Got himself established, and he just waited patiently there for it to come to him, and it did. So he'll be happy with that. And the ball's placed there, just inside his half, to bring it into play. Santiago Laborde, captain of the Wolves, signified by the armband he has on, sends it up forward. Tries to pick that was Tomasito, it's now picked up by Felix. Felix coming forward through the traffic here now. Felix plucks that one out there and goes forward once again, but Tomasito working on him hard as ever. Backhand comes in by Capella, it deflects and gets stopped, and trying to come across back onto it is Capella. However, Habtoor's coming down that line and says thank you very much indeed. And we get the whistle on the play. You can see on the replay there, Tomasito taking the man. The backhand just comes in. Alfie tries to come round. In fact, it was Laborde. Straight on the line, said thank you very much. Polo's played between the ears, not just running up and down on the horse and hitting a ball. Using a little bit of the grey matter, and Santi's the master of it. And so the ball's placed here now for a penalty. 2 it is, undefended penalty. In favour of the Wolves, looking to open up their account. And it's Felix Essayan coming up onto the play here now. Felix comes in very nicely indeed and makes sure that one there does. Felix Essayan on Carabina. And so back over the far side of the field it will be once more. Over the Villa side. As we just saw the drone shot there on Polo line. And so lined up once again. Ball into play. Out it comes. It's Petovsky. Petovsky on the rampage here now. Petovsky, stick side, near side. Trying to get away there from Felix. He goes near side again. Couldn't quite get that one clear with the pressure of Felix on him. But onto it once again, stoically, it is Laborde underneath the net. Well read, well passed between each other. These two up here now for Felix. But he's pushed off out of it there by Tomasito. Tomasito went for the bump and went forward. And the umpire's right on top of that one there. And he thought he'd come in with a bump and come across him, but he hadn't actually moved the man. You can come shoulder to shoulder, but you have to move the man over the line to then be able to make the play. And not the case. Felix is saying he just got bumped a little bit in front. Can he have a pony? He's just looking for another pony. A pony for Felix, please. And I just see a Grum mounting up, and he'll come back to the middle here. Just got a bit of a thump in that shoulder there, the left shoulder, so just to be safe rather than sorry, opting to try and change ponies here now. Here's Felix to get off Carabina, probably to get on Contenta. So the ball being teed up here now for a penalty in favour of Wolves. From the 4-yard spot it looks like here for a penalty 3. So, Felix, having just changed ponies, just comes back out here now and looking to take the penalty. Scored a lovely 30 up the other end. Can you get this 40 in here now? Comes in, strikes it, gets it high, out of reach of all of them. You see Tomasito was looking to come across. He realised the altitude was on that ball, and it's like there's no point even trying. And straight through the goals it is there for Felix Essayan. And it is 2 goals now for Wolves, 4 for Bangash. And although we're on 4 minutes, the umpires have decided it'd be a good opportunity to have a free change as we have a break in play at nearly halfway through this chukker. As I said, for their first matches, they will get a free change. And you can see Habtoor on screen there. The captain and patron of Dubai Wolves. And they'll get a free change for their first match, and then it'll be in their own time unless the umpires call a free change, because there's been a long passage of play. And for the welfare of the horses, which is of the most important thing, as we have to preserve these horses as they have a very long season ahead of them here. So, two teams back on the field nice and quickly here now to get this second chukker underway once again. There's been a few delays so far in this match, so we need to get a bit of a wiggle on. Habtoor on Little Grey. Rocoso. Guichetti on Geronimo. Contenter, of course, for Felix. And so the two teams lined up here now. Ball into play. Into play it is. Off the line it comes. Backhand by Petovsky. Petovsky sends that one forward on Jalita on the backhand. Backhand reciprocated there by Guichetti. Guichetti's backhand looks to be picked up here by Felix. Felix picks it up well. Marked there by Petovsky. A little weighted pass, but it just goes as far as Petovsky comes in, keeps that pressure on, keeps coming forward here now. Coming forward it is. Once again, it's going to be Felix Hussein. Felix going towards the goal. Felix, will it carry? Yes, it does, and through the goal there. So the first chucker was all about Bangash, and Wolves are starting to come back into their own here now. And a lovely play there, good pressure, never saying die, was Felix Hussein. Felix Hussein coming onto it, pushing hard, picking up the ball, stealing it away, and going all the way to goal. So back to the line, out and through the line it goes. Out at first onto it comes the two number 4s, but picked up here, coming across it was Felix. Thought he could chance his arm there, but he just came across the line right in front of Petovsky. Felix could have sworn the ball went sideways, but maybe it deflected, but not quite enough to create a new line as far as the umpires seem to be concerned. And so this will get moved up forward as you have Petovsky coming through at pace. And so the ball's placed down here for a penalty in favour of Bangash. Looks to be teed up there by Alfredo Capella Barabucci. So, back behind their line are Dubai Wolves. Alfredo Capella for the 40-yarder. Looking to get one clean up over the top here. Out of reach of these Wolves players. Taking a long run up. Looking to balance his pony, make sure it's all nice and calm coming up onto it. Capella on Reina. Comes up, drives, shoots, sends this one in through the goal. It is. They couldn't stop that one though along the ground. It was whistling at speed, and through the goal it is for Bangash for their first goal in chukker number 2. 5 goals to Bangash it is. 3 for Dubai Wolves. And so back to the middle of the field once more. So Prof line the two teams up, looking to get this bowled in. Into play it goes. Bit of a bargee in the middle there, but the ball just gets stuck, and coming where it is. Tomasito plays the backhand, gets half stopped, gets stopped in his tracks again, picks it up, trying to get on Guichetti, but coming through onto that one well is Capella. Capella going goalward bound here now. Capella looking for the cut shot, sends that one in beautifully, strikes it absolutely phenomenally well, and through the goals it is there. Alfredo Capella. Back-to-back goals, one from the penalty, one from the field. Lovely goal there by Alfredo Capella and Bangash. Now let's have a little look on our replay here now. He capitalised on that one, got away from the players and cut that one in through towards the goals. And the flagman had no doubt whatsoever, and through it is for goal number 6 on the board there. For Bangash, lining up, changing ends as always. Ball into play. Into play it is. Looking for it there is Petovsky, trying to get onto it again. There was Tomasito in front of Guichetti, but we ended up with a Bit of infraction there, just leapt across him a little bit possibly there. The umpire's just having a quick little discussion. Will it move forward? The optimism of Polo players want it going forward. But was it really going forward or not? This is what the umpires will ask themselves. I think you'll probably find they'll end up with a spot. No movement from the umpires, and it will be Santiago Laborde. Taps it the one. Santi. Keeps going forward. Not marked by the primary. Potowski at the moment. This time goes out. Lovely weighted pass out there for Felix. Felix comes back inside once again. Looking for the meet was Potowski, but it's going to be Felix once again. Just trying to weave his way through, but he just got blocked in his passage a little bit on that one there. And we get a whistle on the play. Now, Felix was coming through on this here. And as he was coming through, just got impeded in his passage to the ball. Yes, the next play was Laborde, but the umpires decided, listen, we've got to cut this out. There's only so much advantage we can keep playing, or we'll end up giving a penalty here now in favour of Dubai Wolves. And this one being dropped down for what looks like a penalty too. An undefended penalty in favour of Wolves. Looking to close that gap once more. Or are we just having a ball change? You try and give them nice new balls, but a lot of the players, when they actually come to go for the penalty, would rather a used ball. It's been hit a few times, a little bit more dense, so they find it flies a little bit more truly. If they don't hit it absolutely plumb on a new ball. And some players prefer the new ball, so we have Felix coming around here now. Felix Essayne sends that ball straight through. It is. Nice casual goal there by Felix. At the canter, some of them on the penalty too will walk up to it. He's happier cantering, and it works very well indeed for him. And there it is. Score. 4 goals it is now to Wolves. 6 for Bangash. So coming back to the middle, it looks like Hyder's had another quick change whilst he was down that end. Getting on something a little bit more homely, as it were. Putting his baffies on, something more comfortable in front of the fire, gets onto his new pony, and then comes up onto it is Capella. Capella sends that ball forward, looking for his man, couldn't get hold of it. Cacchetti sends a backhand, he was onto that one first. The backhand comes in, Hyder's back onto this on the near side. Strong as ever, comes up, picked up on the near side though by Capella, takes it back out towards the Villa side and checks up, looks to take it forward, reaches back, couldn't pick it up, quickly onto it there is Felix Essayne once again. Felix, sharp ass, but look who's back, close down the middle of the field, Potowski in there with Felix coming forward, rides him off, trying to get back onto it. Hyder Bangash saving it once again here for Bangash. Polo goes forward. Oh, Potowski couldn't take that forward. The backhand comes in by Felix. It drops here nicely for Cacchetti. He couldn't quite reach back far enough for that one there, and he's gone back for it. We ended up getting a little bit of a tussle once again with Tomasito. He's in the wars. He always gives his everything as the first hooter goes. And so he just got a bit of a thump. I think Cacchetti was checking up and reaching back for it as Tomasito was coming through, and just got cleaned out of it. And so Tomasito just been seen to by the ambulance. So the players are still loitering on the field. As Tomasito looks like he's going to get a little bit of attention from the umpire, and I think the umpires are actually going to go back to the third man for a little bit of clarification on this one to see who was right. See if Tomasito was sort of muscling his way through into the play and Cacchetti was right, or Cacchetti was wrong and came across Tomasito and caused an infringement there. So, umpires still discussing this one as Tomasito's there by the ambulance. Probably getting a bit of that magic spray. So umpire's actually just going to come over to the third man and have a quick chat to see what they think. And so just having a quick discussion here now that... And so, ladies and gentlemen, they have called Chucker there now, so they'll have another quick discussion of it. Players will leave the field, change ponies. But still, the players are on the field. Let's see what's happening. So the players are still discussing this one here, and the ball is placed down on the field, and they're going to make their decision what they're going to do and see where they're continuing. There's some concernment if the and so we're back live again here with Polo Line, and it looks like they are going to continue play, and the penalty has been given here in favour of Bangash, as Cacchetti was reaching back for that one there and unfortunately collected Tomasito, and the umpires deemed who was right on the play, and it is Alfredo Capella. Alfie onto the play. Alfie picks this one up here now. Alfie, the first, comes up onto it once again for Tomasito. Tomasito on the play once more. Tomasito keeps coming forward here now. Looks to take on the ball. They leaves it back behind now for Capella. Capella getting to about the halfway line. This is almost in reach for him. He goes for the ball and fishes that one up forward. He's looking for a blue shirt, and there it is coming up onto it. The backhand comes in, and it is now picked up and sent up here now. That's actually coming up onto it again is going to be Felix. Felix Hussein. And that there will end Chucker number 2, ladies and gentlemen. And so there's a little bit of confusion here now, ladies and gentlemen. But whilst the players leave the field, for our Polo Line viewers, we'll go to a few messages from Polo Line. And so whilst the players change, you can see that we have up there in the Wolves, that's Habtoor. The number 1 there, forwarded by Wolves and Patron. 6-4 being the score in favour of Bangash. A much better chucker there by Wolves in chucker number 2, but they tend to, in the past, have a history of coming from behind, as it were. And so there'll just be a little bit of discussion here with the umpires and work it out where they're going to start this chucker from, if it's going to be up the Villa end or up the scoreboard end. But unfortunately that's not my decision to be making. And there we are now down in the Bangash camp. That's Alfie Capella, the number 4, and just stretching, or is he just putting it correct to his knee pads, is Ferry Badowski. And Tomasito's already mounted up, and the players are coming back down for the Wolves end of the field. And the umpires look, they're going to be starting the chucker off from, it's about the 60-yard line, down from the scoreboard end. So to come out here in this chucker number 3, Panadera, it should be for Haida. Ferry to come out on Calandria. Tomasito out on Penitente. Alfie out on the mighty Lennon. Fetty's been trying to retire him for years, but he just keeps coming back. He keeps getting a new flush of youth. He's an absolute machine, this horse. For Habtoor, it'll be Egarda, Hokichete, should be Celsa, Felix, Aranya, and Santiago Laborde on Florentino. We're over 5 chuckers here, so after this chucker we will go into our half-time break. So it looks like we're going all the way back up the top end of the field here now, ladies and gentlemen, back up to the Villa end. And we'll ignore that last passage of play and we'll be starting off from the Villa end. So Hyder and Habtoor just having a little yarn. And it'll be Alfredo Capella for Bangash to get chucker number 3 under the way. 6-4 is the score in favour of the blue shirts. Old Bangash. Alfredo ducks one way, goes the other way, looking to unsell Cachetti on this one here. Cachetti going forward once again. Cachetti looking to try and get in touch with Capella, but Capella on the mighty Lennon comes forward, checks up. With him there is Felix, comes up in behind him here, looks to set up the play once more, straightens himself up. Felix is just going to have to yield off. It does so. He's got to be careful on that one there. Capella fizzes that ball up forward there, looking for Tomasito. Parked on the line slightly was Santiago, but Tomasito through the goal. It is lovely linking play there between Alfredo Capella and Tomasito Fernandez Llorente. Taking the score now. 7 goals it is to Bangash. You can see on a replay here now, he sent that ball up beautifully, but there was still quite a lot of work there for Tomasito to do as he had a lot of pressure on him. But not too much, or not enough to worry Tomasito Fernandez Llorente. And through the goal it is. 7-4 is the score, and back to the line. The ball's into play. Out the back it comes. Flicked away here this time by Potowski. Backhand though by Laborde. Laborde comes onto it. There, does. Oh, it's Bears going all over the place, and there we go. We came free with the ball here. It is going to be Felix. Fishes that one up, looking here for Habtoor. Gets hold of this one here now, looking for the next shot. Goes with the next shot, but unfortunately just not quite enough angle on that one there, and it goes wide. Out to the right-hand side. So again, this game's starting to open up a bit more now, which is good to see. It's what we've come here to watch. Some nice open running polo. And so from the back line, Alfredo Capella to bring this ball back into play. Alfie. Alfredo taps it up forward. Up to the primary, Cachetti. Keeps coming forward. Not under any pressure to unload it then. Oh, and just gets over the top of the ball there. Lennon was saying, come on, Dad, we got to get a move on here. I don't like this jiggly-diggly tap-tap stuff. And on the move he goes. Sends it up here nicely, but the first to it there will be Laborde. Laborde, tail backhand. Not quite the angle that Felix was looking for. Well read there once again by Capella. Up there, linking it once more with Tomasito. Tomasito goes with that cut shot. First time play. Oh, Tomasito Fernandez Llorente. Back-to-back goals. Absolutely outstanding. He saw Capella put one in at the other end on the angle. He says, I can do it too, teammate. And through the goal it is. It's a lovely goal there by Tomasito Fernandez Llorente. On the cut, under pressure from Laborde. Nice one-touch polo. It's what we want to see. And so, 8-4 is the score. Ball back into play. Into play it is. Coming away with it is Laborde. Goes forward with it. And to be looking after him is Alfredo, allowing Tomasito to go back to it. Tomasito. Oh, and he didn't get as much onto that as he was looking for. And it's going to be Laborde to pounce on it quickly. And Laborde comes forward once again. Laborde, you see he's got a man coming in onto him in the form of Petovsky to try and hook him off out of it. But coming in behind to help out is Felix. And Felix says, I want this one here now. Deflected by Tomasito. Backhand there by Habtoor. But now picked up by Petovsky and clears his way from the danger zone, the red zone as that is, and sends it out, clearing it away. Trying to get onto it though is going to be Felix. Felix goes straight down the boards. It goes down, coming round across in front of that one there. It's going to be Petovsky comes up with the spoils as Cachete was onto it, as was Tomasito, but he lost sight of the ball there and looking for the backhand, and as he does, he just gets interfered with his swing there, does Felix, and does Cachete, and we get a whistle on that play. And a little bit of camaraderie, should we say, there on the field between two teammates. Encouragement. And you can see on the replay here now, tries to come onto that one there and just got interfered with in this play. And we're about halfway through the chukker, so the umpires have used this magnificent tool to ask the players to quickly just go and change ponies. And they can have time to discuss it between themselves and just cool down a little bit. It's a great tool, it certainly is. And so each team goes back to their own camp and changes. And there you see Cachete changing. We always ask for the horse list, but sometimes things can change as things progress through the game. With Habtoor due to get on to Solista. Cachete is due to get on to Astro Boy. Well, there's a blast from the past. Felix to get on to Torito. Santi to get on Guitarra. Haida, I think he's on Pavito here by now. Fede to get on to Chapo. Debiana for Tomasito. And Aurora for Alfredo Capella. And right here in front of us at Polo line, the ball is dropped down with Matias Babene just standing over it here. As the teams are out onto the field here now, we'll get this one underway. So we have a spot penalty here in favour of the Wolves, and it's Santiago Laborde. Santi taps it up forward. Santi brings it up to his primary in the form of Petovsky. Petovsky tries to make the cutout play, and it fizzes on through, looking for it now, but it came off the pony there of Tomasito. He couldn't pick it up, but Petovsky picks up the spoils here and tidies up once again, stick side onto his near side, running out towards the far side of the field with Laborde going back, gets the hook in onto him, but it's well supported and sent again there by Tomasito. But you see Petovsky and Laborde having a good tussle on this one. Laborde comes away from it, looks to go forward, then the backhand. Petovsky's hooked off out of it by Capella, and it's now left here for Felix, and Felix fizzes that out there for Habtoor. Habtoor looks to take on Haida here now, comes up past, but Haida couldn't quite pick that one up on the bounce, and we get coming forward onto it is going to be Tomasito, but we've had a whistle on the play. Maybe when Haida was trying to pick that ball up forward, he just crossed and fringed Habtoor coming forward. You see on the replay, looked to pick it up, went for it, and the umpire's deeming that no thank you. That's going to be a penalty in favour of Dubai Wolves. And going forward towards the goal. They're putting a short penalty here now. A penalty 2 in favour of Wolves. And it is Felix Asain to bring this one into play. From the penalty 2 spot, undefended 30-yard penalty. Felix comes up, drive, shoot, sends that one in through the goal. It is. Flags aloft, closing the margin once again, but it's still 3 goals to the difference. Wolves 5, Bangash on 8. So back to the middle of the field on the far side. Replay you can see there for our Polo line viewers. So, ball into play, out the line out it comes. Backhand there by Laborde. Reflects. First onto it will be Capella. Man, line, ball, sends it backhand. Out now for Habtoor. Sends the backhand. Reciprocates. Picked up though by Tomasito and now taken on by Ferry Potowski. Near side play by Laborde. Laborde coming through here now. Laborde trying to get onto that one. There was Potowski, but the backhand came in by Laborde to put it out there for Felix once again. Felix essaying onto the play. Goes sits that one. Diamond shape again up the middle of the field. Looking for Habtoor. He's just trying to sort this matter out. Picks that one up. He's got Laborde in there in behind as Habtoor comes forward. Looking for that next shot to straighten it up, but he comes off the pony and goes wide and can't quite get onto that one, can either of his teammates, and it lands here nicely for Capella, who hoofs that ball up the field here, and who's going to get back to this one here first, and it looks like it's going to be Laborde, but relentlessly always putting the pressure on is Tomasito. He yields off and goes to the backhand, picks it up here now, does Tomasito, takes it away from Cacchetti, out towards the Villa side once again. It is Tomasito being pressurised by Cacchetti Crespo. Opa, and we got a sin and a spin, and he's off the front, but he's back in the plate again. There is Felix, but away up the field here now goes Alfredo Capella, and Alfredo just shows too much to Laborde. Laborde says thank you, but it deflects off his own teammate and trying to get onto that one. Cacchetti can't, but we get a whistle on the play. Umpires might have given a little bit of advantage on that, but they decided no. Cacchetti was thinking about it, but he didn't actually play the ball. He went in and went, oh no thank you. Maybe Alfredo could have made a bit more of an effort, but as he didn't, the umpires, it looks like they're going to actually turn around and give a penalty here now in favour of Bangash. So the ball's been teed up there by Alfredo Capella on the 40-yard line for penalty 3 in favour of Bangash. So back behind their line, Dubai Wolves. They can't make an attempt to stop this when it's struck by Capella. Capella coming up here for Bangash. Comes in, strikes, it's high, it's going forward through the goals. They're signalling it's gone wide, but the goal judge thought it was through, but it's been overruled, and the ball here now will be dropped down on the back line. It just slipped past the left-hand goalpost and been in the air against a slightly grey sky. It's very difficult to see from the drone, but it is Santi Laborde to bring it back in. A good lucky let off, but maybe there's karma in that one there as it comes forward out here now for Felix. Felix brings that ball up forward once again. Felix looking to get onto his Haider. He comes away from it, and Haider. You see where the line of the ball was. If you see that one, Haider came in, he didn't go, but he continued on the same line himself, which pulled him across the line, and we can see on the actual review here. If he had gone in and decided not to make the play, he needed to pull left, not keeping on going on the same trajectory. So this brings another foul in favour of Dubai Wolves. And this one a short penalty from the penalty 2 spot. An undefended 30-yard penalty in favour of Dubai Wolves. And once again, Felix Hussein to circle around up onto this play. Comes in, drops the mallet down. Oh, and it's off the post, and oh! It's not, no goal, no goal. Oh, maybe something else has happened here, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe someone was positioned incorrectly. I didn't see that there. But let me see what we can see. It came off the post. But maybe something else was going on behind the back line. And so we have another attempt and a lucky let off there for Wolves. So once again, Felix Hussein Comes up, drive, shoot, sends this one in this time. No mistake on this one here, therefore. Felix Essayne through the goals. It is 6 goals. It is now the Wolves. 8 for Bangash. And so back to the middle of the field it is. And there's 20 seconds on the clock here now before we go into half time. So, back into the line-out. In the line-out it is, coming away with it. Habtoor comes away, but we get a whistle on that play. Umpires must have deemed there was a line had been created from the line-out. Alfie thought it was going towards the scoreboard. Two umpires just having a quick discussion on that and deciding that there was movement forward towards the scoreboard from Bangash. And as Habtoor's kind of come round, he's come across it, and so this gets moved up forward for a shorter penalty rather than just being on the halfway line. There's a bit of momentum was going forward, and we have a penalty for a 60-yard penalty in favour of Bangash. See Fede doing a quick little stop in front there just to see if he could find himself a little tee for Alfredo to pop that on. So, Alfredo Capella. Alfie circling round up on the play here now. Back 40 yards from the ball is Habtoor Wolves, or Dubai Wolves rather. So, Alfredo Capella, this time as long as Harper is stopped there by the pony of Habtoor, and trying to get onto that one is Tomasito, but we get another whistle on the play. Thought he was quick enough to steal that one, but good quick reactions once again by Cachete Crespo. And I think we'll find, ladies and gentlemen, that there will end the chukker. And so after 3 chukkers of play, ladies and gentlemen, it is Dubai Wolves 6, Bangash Polo 8. So as well as players quickly leave the field, we'll quickly go to some messages here now from Polo Line whilst the players change before we come out for the last 2 chukkers of this match.
Started this year, beginning of November, and yes, we are welcoming everybody to play the Silver Cup and Gold Cup at the moment. So we're doing we just done the press conference. Obviously I feel a bit of pressure, but here the team we have in Habtoor, every year I think they take in the pressure and they trying their best to do the best tournament they can. So I'll try to keep up to do that, and hopefully will be better than last, or at least the same if we can. And obviously in years to come we'll be trying to get better and better. Okay, for the Silver Cup we have Bangash, we have a UAE team, we have Habtoor, we have Wolves, and we have Chehangiri. For the Gold Cup we add Cantut as a 6th team. Yeah, the fields this year, we received them about 3 weeks ago, the number 3. 2.5 weeks ago, we received the number 1. And by the time we're starting the tournament, I think they'll be doing well. They look well now, and they are doing the jobs and getting them ready for Saturday's game. So I think we're well organized for that. And hopefully they can keep up in the best shape for the whole tournament, the 2 of them. Everybody knows what they're doing. To be honest, every team helps each other. I mean, they always help me as well, because they've been here before. and mainly all of them, except for Hungary, that is starting both tournaments this year, but they've been in the high goal, so I think it's not that's not the difficult part. I have to join them in, let's say, and help to encourage to have a good tournament and organize it as best we can.
So welcome back here now to our Polo Line viewers. As you can see there, being half-time, there is a little bit a longer break. We have a few spectators out on the field trading some divots. Thank you very much indeed. And just to remind everybody that those for the half-time break for our second match, there will be Hunt the Gold coins out there on the field. And, of course, the 2 gold coins. There'll be tickets for La Pearl, a voucher worth 500 dirhams for El Pastayo. There's riding lessons for 2, a stable tour for 4, and pool access here at Habtoor Polo Resort and Club, totaling about 4,000 dirhams in prizes, or vouchers, should we say. And that will be at about 4:30, 4:45 more like. 4:45 that the Hunt the Gold coin will be. So there's a few players just having a little bit of soccer on the side of the field as the players start to come back out of the field here now, ladies and gentlemen. To get Chucker number 4 underway in our first match in the Silver Cup 2026, the 16th edition this is of this tournament, of the Gold Cup series. The score, Bangash 8, Wolves 6. So we have Bangash back out in the field looking to get this underway, and it looks like we have Dubai Wolves just starting to get themselves mounted up to come back out on the field once more. And so to come out here in this chucker for Bangash, Hyder's due to come out on Gambio, I believe it is. Fede looking to come out here on Tiffany. Tomasito to come out on Triple X. And Alfredo come out here on Corintosa. Habtoor to come out on Alucinante. Cachete on Luisa. Felix. He's down to come out on Dania, but I'm not sure that is. I think that might be coming back out on Marilyn again. But Santi Laborde looking to come out here now on Snowmass. So the players are out in the field, and we're just waiting for the umpires to mount up, and then we'll get underway. We're just waiting for the pony from Bangash, which has just arrived. So 2 greys out there on the field for Dubai Wolves. There you see Habtoor just coming out onto the field. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get this back underway once more with our umpires mounting up. Just if you could all refrain from entering into the 10-yard line. In the safety zone, we'd like to stay behind at all times and keep an eye on small people. And so our umpires are mounted up. Back out onto the field here now. And ladies and gentlemen, of course, I'd like to announce to all our Polo Line viewers and all those here at Habtoor, our sponsorship by Ainsley MVP Saddle, where passion meets purpose. Ross Ainsley put a lot of work into his saddles, ridden and played on by some of the top players in the world. And funnily enough, the way the Adolfo got onto them, he substituted for Pilon, who was riding in these saddles at Cowdery one day. He had to come and substitute for Pilon. He literally played on those saddles, and immediately he turned around to Pilon and said, "What are these saddles?" And he said, "Well, they're Ainsley saddles." So Ross turned round and or he was summoned by Cambiasso. Cambiasso went to find him and said, "Right, I want 10 in Argentina and I want 10 in Florida." Straight away. And since then, he's never looked back and never looked to another saddle. So the Ainsley saddles, it's not just for the actual horse, not just for the rider. They're designed and made for the comfort of the horse, so the horse can perform at its best, not pinching its shoulders. They have a gullet which you can interchange, so that it actually fits the horse purposely to get the best performance. So just working out what's going out there on the field. We'll get this match underway once again. But also with Ross, if you get onto the NRG podcast as well, they've had some fantastic podcasts on there, talking to some great names in the horse world, not just in polo, and done an awful lot of work on the on bitching of horses and also training too. And once again, I'd like to mention everybody to jump onto our social media. On Instagram, of course, is Polo Line OK, Facebook Polo Line Int, Polo Line TV for YouTube. To keep you up to date with everything concerned with polo throughout the world at all times. And Polo Line, they're covering here, they're covering Alula next weekend, and then the following weekend for Samaritz as well. In addition to what is going on in Florida as their season has started. And in fact, one of the NRG guys there, Glenn Gilmore, is commentating over there after he commentated the Argentine semis and finals. So the ball's placed down here now at the halfway line for a penalty in favour of Dubai Wolves to get Chucker number 4 underway. Santi Laborde brings this one in here now on Snamas. Sends that ball up nicely here now. Puts that one out wide. Looking for Felix. Felix looks like he's going to get to this first here. Felix checks, turns, comes back inside. Finds a bit of space. He's going across goal. Goes with the next shot. That leaves it in turn. But trying to get onto that one there was Santi Laborde. But also so was Petovsky. The umpires deciding that Petovsky might have had the line on that one. But let us see what they decide. And yes, they do believe so, that Petovsky had the line. Let's see if we can see on our replay on Polo Line. And so Santi, the umpires deemed, only had a near side play. And so the ball's dropped down here for Alfredo Capella. Capella taps it up forward. Brings it forward towards the primary. And that one is Cachete again. Goes out wide, out towards the Villa side for Tomasito. Tomasito checks on the play. Makes a bit of time for himself here now. looking to see what his options are. Freddie circling, coming up towards the middle. Cacchetti doing hard work on him. Leaves the play, leaves it for Capella. Capella straight up the middle here now and fizzes that one hard and fast. But it's gone a little bit wide. Can he get, looking to get back onto this one there, but he gets taken off it and quickly onto it. Tomasito looking for another one. Flicks it underneath the neck and through. He's like an absolute little rabid dog. He's quick, he's sharp, he's fast. Don't give him an inch because he really will punish you hard, and punish them he has done today. Tomasito Fernandez Llorente with goal number 9 on the board there for Bangash. Lovely replay there of Tomasito. He's quick, he's sharp, he's fast. And so lining up here. Ball into play, front of the line out. Hyder gets a tickle of that one there. Cachetti's looking for it. Umpire scurries out the way. Cacchetti goes with the backhand, loops that one up over the top of the players here for Habtoor to get onto. Goes a little bit straight with it. Tries to pick the ball up on the bounce there. Does Capella. Capella comes in, loses sight of the ball, but picks it up once again. Capella comes in. Habtoor comes in. Takes for the ride off and untidily, but he tries to pick it up, but just gets the whistle pulled on him. Let's see if we can see on the replay here now. You see Capella going forward with the play, makes a turn. And Habtoor comes in on and tries to steal that one away, and the umpires deem that maybe he didn't quite have the right to that one there, although he thought he did, and it's dropped down for a spot penalty here now. Penalty 5 in favour of Bangash, with Alfredo Capella tapping it forward. Where's his options? Comes up forward once again. Brings it forward. Just teasing Cacchetti. Decides to put that one out now for a little weighted pass here for Tomasito. Tomasito tries to let that one go fast, but it comes off the pony. Trying to get onto it will be Laborde. Sends a little backhand. Nice little weighted backhand there for Felix. Felix comes in, puts a little backhand. But it didn't go to his man, but it's Tomasito sends that one forward once again. But you see Laborde keeps Freddy Petovsky off it, and is now picked up by Felix Essayin. Felix Essayin coming forward once again. Felix at pace here, but he loses that one, and the backhand comes in by Tomasito. Freddy couldn't quite get round to that one quickly enough as Laborde does. Laborde comes round here now. Laborde going goalward bound. He's wide, but he's going towards goal at pace here now. It is Santiago Laborde. Santiago Laborde from the back comes forward once again, comes in towards the goal and puts it away. A lovely goal there by Santiago Laborde for Dubai Wolves, making it 7-9. Nice grey mare there of Santiago Laborde. Not sure I'd seen her here in Dubai before, but he did a very good job. He got onto the backhand first from Tomasito and then ran it round and through the goal at pace. Lovely goal there by Santiago Laborde. So back to the middle it is once more. Matthias looking for a vague resemblance of a gap. Ball into play. Out the back of the line, out it comes. First onto it's Tomasito and Laborde. Laborde gets the better of that and sends it underneath the neck. Looking there for Tomasito to come forward up onto. But Tomasito gets onto that first and sends a backhand. Couldn't pick it up, could have Tor, but it's going to be Capella. Capella gets hooked off out of it there by Cacchetti, and the next one, ooh, and Feddy comes in, and so does Felix, and Felix picks away with the play here now. Felix gets half checked in his play, comes forward once again, gets hooked off out of it this time, but it falls for Laborde once more. Laborde coming across the back of the play, but it's taken away on his near side there by Petovsky, but we get a whistle on that play. Petovsky probably clean on the near side, but as he played the near side, it looks like he might have come across the line. Let's see if we can pick this on the replay. You see Laborde's coming here now. Nice near side play by Petovsky. But he's come across the line. He hasn't stayed parallel to that line as you've got Laborde coming down the line as well. And so we're about halfway through this chukker, 3:22. And it looks like we will go for a free change here. And the umpire's still just having a bit of a discussion about that one there. As there you see Santiago Laborde getting off Snowmass. Scheduled to come out in Fiasco, but we'll find out all in due course. Alfredo Capello to get onto Reina. Tommy onto Viboro. Magenta for Fede. So, Excellent, thanks. So we have a ball placed down here in front of the Bangash goal for a penalty two, it looks like, in favour of Dubai Wolves. Santiago Laborde was coming parallel to the back line. Fede came in nicely on the near side, but at a bit of an angle and carried on straight up that angle and collected the front of Laborde. So the umpires believe it was a little bit too much of a quick change of direction of play. And so we have a penalty two for Felix to take. Felix SN onto the play here now. Once again comes in the counter. Oh, and he tops that one. He has another poster. Off the post it goes, and out wide it is. So the whistle goes, and it didn't go out of play. It stayed in play off the post, so there'll be a free hit here now in favour of Bangash. That's two he's had off the post. So Alfredo Capella. Capella brings it up to his marker, Cicchetti. He's got Tomasito gone out towards the side, but he's gone up the middle here now, looking for Hyder, but first to it will be Habtoor. Nice near side backhand to pick it up is Cicchetti. Oh, and he just hesitates on that one there, and it Boney just popped on him. Alfredo goes down with it, left it behind, and nicely picked up. Look at the beautiful horsemanship and fantastic quality of horses. Santiago Laborde brings this one round the corner, and off he goes, but he's hooked off out the play there by Potowski, and Potowski picks that ball up, controls it well, out towards his side, but you see Laborde back to him quickly, he picks it up again here, does Potowski on the run here now. Potowski opens that one up and sends it up the middle of the field here. Goes by himself. He had Hyder in front, but opts to go by himself. Couldn't quite pick up the second one, but it was going to be Cicchetti. Cicchetti comes first, checks, goes to the backhand, scoops, up, down it comes. Picked up there by Hyder. Hyder gets onto it. Habtoor looking for something, but nothing to be given out of it. Habtoor goes and picks that one away from Cicchetti, but in doing so, he comes across the front of Tomasito Fernandez Llorente, and a whistle on the play. And you can see on the replay here that little backhand, Cicchetti had it, and Habtoor decides to come across at right angles in front of Tomasito, and that there will give a penalty here in favour of Bangash, and it looks like they're bringing this one back for a penalty for a 60-yard penalty as it's going away from goal. Fede's pointing down thinking, come on guys, it was still on about the 30-yard line, you could have at least given us a 40. But no, as it's going away and almost towards the bottom corner, we end up with a penalty for 60-yard penalty in favour of Bangash. 9-7 is the score. Bangash still out there in the lead. So Alfredo Capella in chucker number 4. 9-7's the score. Looking for double figures. Drive, shoots it along the ground, it's going wide, tries to keep it in to Potowski, but no, it's just gone out towards the left-hand side. Not happy with himself there as Capella was looking for double figures, but 9-7's the score. 2:10 on the clock, and it'll be Santiago Laborde to bring it back into play once again. Forwarded by Wolves. Santi keeps this ball moving forward. Santi brings it up to Potowski. There, beautifully goes under the neck out here for Felix. Essaying Felix onto the play, looking to see where Capella is. Checks, straightens himself up, looks to come back inside, does so, looks to take on Alfredo, plays a little backhand, changing the line, picked up there by Laborde. Laborde being marked now by Potowski. Takes Potowski on. Potowski, the ride-off, looks for the backhand, couldn't connect, and it's now going to be... Ooh, but he sent it forward to Laborde, but showed too much of it there to Potowski. Potowski flicks that one back there for Tomasito, who plays a backhand underneath the tail, but there's a swarm of red shirts going back onto this one here, and it is going to be Felix. Felix picks this up. He's got Cicchetti gone forward. It falls short of Cicchetti, trying to get back to it, but he couldn't get round Capella. Capella blocks him out that play, controlling the middle of the field, and sends a near side backhand, and first back onto it will be Habtoor. Habtoor checks, turns, comes back round, up onto the play once again, out towards the side he comes. Checks up on the play as he gets to the ball, and Looks to come back inside and run this one away there from his man. Cuts that ball back in towards the middle of the field, but it looks like it's gone out over the back line. And so the ball placed down here now for the ball to be brought back into play for Bangash as Petovsky quickly changes pony. And Capella will come back and bring this ball into play, trying to bleed as much time as he can, but he's limited on the time that he can take. And so player's called, 10 seconds he has, and 10 seconds, and brings this ball into play. Does Capella. Capella taps it up once again. He's got players going one way, going the other. What are his options? Pigs it out here, straight out the middle, looking for Petovsky, but just a little bit far for Petovsky to get onto, and it's going to be Laborde to pick it up, turn. Petovsky's in there, straightens himself up once again. He's got Felix coming in behind if necessary, yields off it, leaves it for Felix, who pings that ball up over the top here now, visits it forward, but the first onto it will be Capella. Capella, near side backhand, the backhand, little weak and not quite as straight, cut out the side there by Petovsky. Petovsky away from the danger zone. The first hooter goes, and we're out there towards the Villa side. Gets round the first man, keeps this ball coming forward. Couldn't get on to the next play, but it's picked up and turned quickly there by Felix, and Felix heads his face back up in towards goal once more. Felix essaying. Felix trying to get through the traffic. We get a whistle on the play. So that there will be the end of the chukker, ladies and gentlemen. The score being 9-7. We might get a quick replay of it to see where we were. But no, ladies and gentlemen, the two teams will leave the field to change their ponies to come out for the fifth and possibly final chukker of our first match in the Silver Cup. And we'll go to a few messages and adverts from Polo Line. So our two teams coming back out in the field, as I was saying, for our finals on the 24th, which the tickets are available on Virgin Tickets Platinum List and the Al Habtoor Royal app rather. The general entry is 150 dirhams, the picnic gazebo 1,200 dirhams, including picnic basket, good for 4 people, and a parking pass. We have the Silver Lounge, of course, 1,500 dirhams minimum spend on drinks per table of 8, and parking passes. And on the cocktail tables in the Silver Lounge, 800 dirham minimum spend for 4 people and parking passes. For bookings, please give the office a call on 056 373 29999 or drop them an email, media@DubaiPoloGoldCup.com. And of course, we have Party at the Polo by IFSA, hosted by Al Habtoor Polo Resort. It's the polo season at Al Habtoor Polo Resort, and IFSA is hosting a calendar of simply unmissable events between November 2025 and February 26. It was previously by invite only. However, now you may book your tickets at partyatthepolo.com. You can expect these affairs to be elegant, sophisticated, and brimming with colour. So get your bookings, ladies and gentlemen, and please follow us on DXB Polo Gold Cup Series and Al Habtoor Polo Club on Instagram. So back live here now. We have the penalty 2 to be taken by Felix Essayin. Felix Pony just balks on him. She has to bring it back to the walk. Comes up to this one. He drives, he shoots, and unfortunately it's not been his day, and wide it has gone once more. Out to the left-hand side, though, this time. So the ball will be brought back to the about when the ball went out of play, or at least 4 yards from the goal. And it's going to be Alfredo Capella and Bangash to bring this into play. Alfie. Taps it up forward. Alfredo Capella once again cuts this one out wide nicely here for Tomasito. Tomasito tries to get onto that one there, but it just gets a little bit of discombobulation. Trying to get onto it was Fede and Tomasito. As Felix is trying to nip in between the two players, and in doing so might have impeded the trailing player. But we can possibly see on our replay for our Polo Line viewers, and he possibly fouled or infringed the trailing player. And so this has been moved up forward here now for a penalty in favour of Bangash, an easy way to get their way up the field. And as the momentum is from the halfway line or just in their half going forward, we're bringing this up here now for a penalty for a 60-yard penalty. And Alfredo Capella just teeing this one up here now. Alfie retiring back there 40 yards. Alfredo Capella circling around here once more. Alfie, no mistake with that one. It's high, but it looks like it's drifted to the right. He looks to the heavens, but unfortunately no inspiration or help will be given as the ball's gone wide. 9-7 the score remains here at the start of Chucker number 5. And it will be Santiago Laborde. Santi keeps his ball moving forward, looks up to see where his players are once again. Fede's just off him a little bit so he can keep travelling forward this time. Sends it out there now, looking for Felix. Felix, essaying up onto the play. Felix picks it up first time, up to about the halfway line. At pace, up the field, hops over the lines. This will be picked up now by Petovsky. Takes it deeper down his own territory so he can try and get a bit of angle. Goes with the backhand. The backhand comes in looking for Tomasito, who picks that one up in first time play. This is that ball up forward once again, looking for Capella, but at the back door, shutting it firm, is going to be Laborde. Laborde, backhand, nice weighted pass out there for Cacchetti Crespo. Cacchetti trying to get onto the play, just sucked back out of it slightly, has to play a little bit of cat and mouse with Tomasito and sends it out underneath the neck here this time, looking for Felix, but picked up there by Petovsky. Petovsky on the play. Petovsky retains possession and sends this one out here now, looking for Tomasito. But it's Cacchetti onto it, reciprocates, sends it back into some space here, this time for Habtoor sends a good passing play up the field here, up there for Felix, and Felix to come onto the play here, there with Haider, turns back away inside of Capella, comes forward, but in comes Petovsky to try and steal it on his near side. He does, as accurate as ever. But first onto it there will be the little belly shot there by Felix, but it gets tangled up and kept in play by Laborde for Felix come onto, but it looks like we've had a whistle. Or a lot of players are standing, watching, looking, and not sure what's going on, and finally a whistle does go. Oh, yep, it looks like Santi tried to keep this ball in play. It had just gone over the back line. And yes, we can just see there on the replay. Thank you very much indeed to Polo Line once again. So Alfredo Capella brings it into play. Alfie cuts away out towards the Villa side, does Tomasito, but Alfie keeps it, sends him the other way, cuts this one out here now. Looking after Capella is Cacchetti, back onto it is Felix. He sends the backhand, just loses sight of that one, does Cacchetti. Picked up, though, by Capella. Capella on the near side once more. Capella out towards the boards. Cacchetti going back. Big task on his hands here today. He checks and turns and tries to make the turn round the corner. We get a whistle on that play. So it looks like a ball's going to get dropped down here now. And it'll be a spot penalty for Bangash. Yes, ball just been dropped down there by the umpire. So 4:24 on the clock, not quite time for half-time break. And it's Alfredo Capella to bring this one back in again here now for Bangash. Alfie brings this ball up here. Alfredo Capella playing there with Cacchetti. One way goes the other way. Cacchetti's going to have to move. He's just going to have to yield off him. He's using a lot of nous on this one here. He goes one way, goes the other, but he's going to just run across the back of the pony. And let's see what the decision is from the umpires here. A ball is dropped down. And this one will be in favour of Dubai Wolves. Yes, he was trying to go one way, then the other. But in doing so, created a potentially dangerous play and ran across the back of the legs of Felix's pony. And this results in a penalty in favour of the Dubai Wolves. So, Santiago Laborde. Santi taps this up forward. Santi brings this one here now. Santi comes wide with it away there from Capella. Tries to get back towards the traffic. Can't get onto it. Next onto it is going to be Felix in good support. Felix straightens himself up across the back line here now. Felix wanting a goal here now urgently. He reckons he can't make a play, but he has place trying to make a play, but the umpire's whistle blows. The question is trying to work out here now. Was Capella parallel to the line? His pony just backed. Then he played it into the pony. Doesn't really have the right to make the play towards the goal on that occasion. And so therefore we have a spot penalty, it looks like, in favour of Bangash. Umpire is deeming that yes, Capella had every right to be where he was. And Capella to bring it back in for Bangash once more. Capella sends this one out here now. Half cut out the play there as the ball's coming past by Habtoor, but it's picked up by Haider Bangash, who sends it forward, trying to get onto his Pitovsky, but a quick little backhand there by Laborde. But it's first onto it there is Tomasito Fernandez Llorente, half hooked off out of it, but keeps this ball moving forward. Tomasito couldn't quite get onto that cleanly, but he gets back on. Ooh, coming across the front of Fede and Felix was Tomasito, but couldn't get onto it. But it's Cacchetti. Cacchetti avoids a reach out there from Capella in the hook, and it's on the bounce, and he gets a bit of cane, but it's enough to get that ball up forward. But first onto it here will be Tomasito. Tomasito on the play. Kept off out of it there is Cacchetti by Pitovsky, and it is Tomasito once again. Tomasito on the play. Tomasito dribbling this ball, keeping it going forward, puts it wide out there, this time for Pitovsky, who sat one up the field here now. He's a little bit wide, and first back onto this one will be Laborde. He's going to be forced to make the play, and the play is made. However, we've got a whistle on that play. I'm not quite sure what went on, but there was a little bit of chit-chat possibly going on. There's one of the Wolves players was not happy with a play just previously, wasn't happy with Pitovsky coming onto it, and maybe there was a little bit of too much chit-chat or discussion going on. But the whistle's gone, and it's also a good opportunity for the players to quickly go and change ponies. And what they so the two umpires just having a quick chat about this one whilst the players change. And as Pitovsky came onto it, I think Cacchetti thought he had the line and Fede didn't, but was he quick enough? Was there enough space and distance for him to go there is what they will have to decide. And if they decide that there was enough speed and distance, then he can go, but the umpires won't tolerate any chit-chat. They need to... But in fact, it looks like, ladies and gentlemen, we have a spot penalty here in favour of Dubai Wolves to get this started off after a Bangash player. A little bit of misuse of the mallet for encouragement of the pony to go quicker. And those who know. So the ball's placed down. Players back out in the field. Players called, and Laborde taps it up forward. 7-9 the score. 2:49 on the clock. Gone to it is Felix. Felix shouldn't quite pick that one up cleanly here now, but loses momentum, allowing Fede to get back to him. Ball left though for Laborde once again. Laborde. Fede just had to yield off it. Ball comes forward. Habtoor up onto the play. Backhand by Haider. Gets sent up forward once again. Looking for it is Tomasito. Tomasito takes that one away from Cachete. Gets round the field here now. Well on his near side. Tomasito Fernandez Llorente. Tomasito in with him. There is Felix. Comes together with the player nicely. Checks up on the play. Turns. Faces forward once again. In attack is Tomasito, who's got Alfie in behind. Yields off. Leaves it. Player's called, so he has to use that ball, and usually does, and sends it out there towards the middle of the field. Near side pick up here by Haider. Beautifully done. Haider Bangash up onto his stick side once again. Being pressurised by Habtoor. Habtoor takes the man. Leaves the ball for Laborde. Looking to try and steal it was Pitowski, but mark of the man there was Laborde as he comes in and takes it deeper down his own territory to control it and keep it away from Pitowski, and does so well. Does Santiago Laborde. Lets it go up the field. We get a whistle on that play. I think it might have just come off a pony or come off Fede. Laborde saying he hadn't cleared enough, but possibly had acres of space to deal with it, and it looks like we're going to get a penalty here now in favour of Bangash. Could have been a couple of things in there. I'm not sure if it came off the pony or if maybe he was told to play it and then tapped it one more time. I thought that would probably been a spot, but no, it looks like we're going to end up with a penalty. So evidently it had gone into the pony or into Fede himself. And so we have a penalty for a 60-yard penalty. For Alfredo Capella and Bangash. This time looking for double figures again. Alfredo canters up to this one nicely. Comes up to it, strikes it beautifully, but again, he's just come from inside out and out towards the right it is. Or outside in and gone wide to the right, and it's brought in once again by Laborde. Laborde underneath the neck here now, looking to get onto that one. Falls with a bit short, but going back onto it, pick it up is Felix. Felix picks up the play. Felix on this one here now. Felix being marked there by Tomasito. Goes down straight up the wing here now, but first surface with it will be Capella. Capella sends it back, comes off the pony, picked up by Laborde. Laborde pings that one up forward for Cachete to take on Capella. Capella looks to take the man near side backhand. The backhand comes in, good angle out towards the side for Pitowski. Pitowski comes in with the first time play underneath the neck. He goes with that one out here now for Haider Bangash. Haider on the halfway line picks that one up nicely. Haider Bangash focuses on the play, but unfortunately just gets deluded by the ball, and it's going to be Felix to come onto it. Felix looks to go under the neck, just loses control and sight of that momentarily, and first onto it here now is going to be Tomasito. Gets a half cut out the play, and wide it looks like this one's going to go, and out over the back line it is. So good attacking play there by Bangash. Just lost a bit of focus there in the defence, and quickly bringing it back into play as is Santiago Laborde. This time gives it away up the field now for Cachete, but Cachete every time seems to be getting blocked in his options by Alfredo Capella. Capella looks to send the backhand, coming in onto it is Habtoor on his stick side, right in front of the ever-waiting Tomasito Fernandez Llorente, and we get a whistle on the play. And a little bit of anguish and frustration there from a couple of the players on the Wolves side. So clearly Tomasito's line. And so the ball's teed up here from the spot of the penalty, as he was going away from the attacking goal, his attacking goal should we say, and it's going to be Alfredo Capella. Alfie comes in, sends this ball up here now, looking for his man out the side, but first onto it is going to be the backhand of Hussein, picked up by Fede on Pitowski as the clock tick-tocks down, and Fede Pitowski possibly looking just to pick this up, and the hooter goes, ladies and gentlemen. So that there, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Bangash running out the winners over Dubai Wolves. 9-7 here in our first match of the Silver Cup 2026, the 16th edition. So still a little bit of working out by the players with their teammates and the rest of it to get things settled and working smoothly, but a good effort there by both of these teams and a great game there by Bangash. running out the winners. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be starting our next game in a few moments' time, which will be between Habtoor Polo and UAE. So you just see down in the Bangash camp there, Fedivan Patolsky. Very happy indeed. Best way to start the season in the high goal with a good win over last year's winners of the Silver Cup, that being Dubai Wolves. And there's Tomate congratulating Fede. Tomate over there doing a lot of work with the horses, etc. And Haida Bangash just getting off. And so Haida back into his camp. So, ladies and gentlemen, for all our viewers on Polo Line, I'd just like to say Tomasito Fernandez-Llorente was awarded the MVP. We are a little bit behind schedule because that game was a little bit protracted, a little bit longer than we expected, and so we'll have to move on to our next match. So for myself, Adam Snowden and Polo Line, we'll see you shortly for game number 2.